जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण राम राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद् डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की, प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की। All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. You connect this? Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuvamilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namavom Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye nashtaprayeshva badreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavatyuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Welcome all of you this morning for the Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are reciting from Srimad Bhagavatam 8th canto, 3rd chapter, text number 17. Madhrik Prapanna Pashupasha Vimokshanaya Muktaya Bhuri Karunaya Namolayaya स्वांशेन सर्वतनुभृन्मनसि प्रतीत प्रत्यग्दृशे भगवते बृहते नमस्ते माद्रक्प्रपन्न पशुपाश विमोक्षणाय मुक्ताय भूरि करुणाय नमोलयाय स्वांशेन सर्वतनुभृन्मनसि प्रतीत प्रत्यग्दृशे भगवते बृहते नमस्ते माद्रक्प्रपन्न पशुपाश विमोक्षणाय मुक्ताय भूरि करुणाय नमोलयाय स्वांशेन सर्वतनुभृन्मनसि प्रतीत प्रत्यग्दृशे भगवते बृहते नमस्ते. Two Prabhujis, two Matajis, please recite. माद्रक् प्रपन्न पशुपाश विमोक्षणाय मुक्ताय भूरि करुणाय नमोलयाय स्वांशेन सर्वतनुभृन्मनसि प्रतीत प्रत्यग्दृशे भगवते बृहते नमस्ते माद्रक् प्रपन्न पशुपाश विमोक्षणाय मुक्ताय भूरि करुणाय नमोलयाय स्वांशेन सर्वतनुभृन्मनसि प्रतीत प्रत्यग्दृशे भगवते बृहते नमस्ते. Matajis. माद्रक् प्रपन्न पशुपाश विमोक्षणाय मुक्ताय भूरि करुणाय नमोलयाय स्वांशेन सर्वतनुभृन्मनसि प्रतीत प्रत्यग्दृशे भगवते बृहते नमस्ते माद्रक् प्रपन्न पशुपाश विमोक्षणाय मुक्ताय भूरि करुणाय नमोलयाय स्वांशेन सर्वतनुभृन्मनसि प्रतीत प्रत्यग्दृशे भगवते बृहते नमस्ते. Madrak, like me. Prapanna, surrendered. Pashu, an animal. Pasha, from entanglement. Vimokshanaya, unto him who releases. Muktaya, unto the Supreme, who is untouched by contamination of material nature. Bhuri Karunaya, who are unlimitedly merciful. Namaha, I offer my respectful obeisances. Alayaya, who are never inattentive or idle, for the purpose of my deliverance. Swaamshena, by your partial future as Paramatma. Sarva, of all. Tanubrat, the living entity is embodied in material nature. Manasi, in the mind. Pratita, who are acknowledged. Pratyagdrishe, as the direct observer of all activities. Bhagavate, unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Brihate, who are unlimited. Namaha, I offer my respectful obeisances. Take unto you. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Since an animal such as me has surrendered unto you, who are supremely liberated, certainly you will release me from this dangerous position. Indeed, being extremely merciful, you incessantly try to deliver me. By your partial future as Paramatma, you are situated in the hearts of all embodied beings. You are celebrated as direct transcendental knowledge, and you are unlimited. I offer my respectful obeisance unto you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. The words Brihate Namaste have been explained by Srila Vishwanath Thakur. Brihate Sri Krishnaya. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna. There are many tattvas such as Vishnu Tattva, Jiva Tattva, Shakti Tattva, but above everything is the Vishnu Tattva, which is all pervading. This all pervading feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is explained in the Bhagavad Gita 10.42, wherein the Lord says, Atava bahunaitena kimnyatena tavarjuna ishtabhyahamidam krishnam yekamshena sthito jagat. But what need is there, Arjuna? For all this detailed knowledge, with a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. Thus, Krishna says that the entire material world is maintained by his partial representation as Paramatma. The Lord enters every universe as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu and then expands himself as Kshirodakshaya Vishnu to enter the hearts of all living entities and even enter the atoms. And Antarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham. Every universe is full of atoms, and the Lord is not only within the universe but also within the atoms. Thus, within every atom, the Supreme Lord exists in his Vishnu future as Paramatma. But all the Vishnu Tattvas emanate from Krishna, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Ahamadrihi Devanam. Krishna is the Adi or beginning of the Devas of this material world, such as Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar. Therefore, he is described here as Bhagavate Brihate. Everyone is Bhagavan. Everyone possesses opulence, but Krishna is Brihan. Bhagavan, the possessor of unlimited opulence. Ishwaraha Parama Krishna. Krishna is the origin of everyone. Aham Sarvasya Prabhavaha. Even Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwar come from Krishna. Matta Paradaram Nanyat Kinchidasti Dhananjaya. There is no personality superior to Krishna. Therefore, Vishwanath Thakur says that Bhagavate Brihate means unto Sri Krishna. In this material world, everyone is a pashu, an animal, because of the bodily conception of life. Yasyatma buddhi kunapeti dhatuke swadhi kalatradi shubhoma ijjadihi yattirtha buddhi salilena karhichit janesha vignesha seva gokaraha. A human being who identifies the body made of three elements as the self, who considers the byproducts of the body to be his kinsman, who considers the land of his birth to be worshipable, and who goes to a place of pilgrimage simply to bathe rather than to meet men of transcendental knowledge, there is to be considered like a cow or an ass. Practically everyone, therefore, is a pashu, an animal, and everyone is attacked by the crocodile of material existence. Not only the king of the elephants, but everyone of us is being attacked by the crocodile and is suffering the consequences. Only Krishna can deliver us from the material existence. Indeed, he is always trying to deliver us. Ishwaraha sarva bhutanam hridadeshe arjuna tishtati. He is within our hearts and is not at all inattentive. His only aim is to deliver us from material life. It is not that he becomes attentive to us only when we offer prayers to him. Even before we offer our prayers, he incessantly tries to deliver us. He is never lazy in regard to our deliverance. Therefore, this verse says, Bhuri Karunaya Namo Alayaya. It is the causeless mercy of the Supreme Lord that he always tries to bring us back home, back to Godhead. God is liberated and he tries to make us liberated. But although he is constantly trying, we refuse to accept his instructions. Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Braja. Nonetheless, he has not become angry. Therefore, he is described here as Bhuri Karunaya, unlimitedly merciful in delivering us from this miserable material condition of life and taking us back home, back to Godhead. I chose this verse for one reason, because Janmashtami is fast approaching this month, August month. So we will hear the glories of Krishna. This year is very special for us because His Grace Krishnanand Prabhu is coming for 3 days for Janmashtami. And he is going to complete the whole Krishna book cover to cover. So morning and evening there are 2 hours lectures, probably 4 to 5 hours per day. So in 3 days, Prabhuji has taken a challenge that he will complete the full Krishna book, all the pastimes. So, of course, we will hear Krishna's glories, But for us to hear about a person and his glories, we should have some interest in that person. And we should have some attraction for that person. Otherwise, if somebody comes and tells you glory of somebody whom you are not so charmed by, that is going to fall in our deaf ears. Therefore, it's very important for us to know the glory of Krishna as a person himself. Most importantly, a most compassionate person, most attractive person. There are two aspects of Krishna. Kaviraj Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Rasika Shekara Krishna Parama Karuna Yedu Yehetu Hete Premara Udgama. He says, the cause of arousal of prema in the hearts of the jivas happens due to two reasons, he says. One reason is Krishna's sportive, playful, naughty, mischievous, joyful, blissful nature. That is one reason. Some people are charmed by Krishna's attractive form, like you see Radha Chandra. How he is decorated, dressed, he is standing stylishly, playing on his flute. He is bedecked with a peacock feather, beautiful garland and ornaments. Everything about him is beautiful. The person sitting next to him is also very beautiful. The dham in which he is living is beautiful. The cows are beautiful, calves are beautiful, deers are beautiful, peacocks are beautiful. Everybody connected to him is beautiful. And also I took this topic for another reason. The most closest devotee to Krishna is Srimati Radharani, the topmost devotee, Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead. And her appearance is coming also very soon in the first, it will be in a few days. So I was thinking that Radharani is compassionate disposition personified. So we call Krishna also as a Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu. So we will see why Krishna is called as Karuna Sindhu. And by knowing about it, we will be able to develop some appreciation for him, and then we will want to learn about him more. So there is a book called as Vaishnava Compassion by His Holiness Satyabhadas Maharaj. It's a very beautiful book. So in that book, there are 2-3 chapters he has devoted on this topic of Krishna's compassion, from which I am going to explain a few points. I have read this book a few times and I found it very enlivening and very valuable also for us to contemplate upon Krishna's nature. So in the verse which we recited just now, Madrik Prapanna Pashupasha Vimokshanaya. So Gajendra is telling the Lord that, my dear Lord, please relieve me from this clutches of crocodile which is catching me, and like a foolish creature I have come into this lake and put my leg in the mouth of a crocodile. I have been ignorant, I have been foolish, I have been careless, inattentive. And then Prabhupada is comparing that. Prabhupada is comparing that with the conditioned souls who are also foolish and ignorant and inattentive, and oftentimes they commit several mistakes. One of the mistakes that they commit is also in getting captured by Maya's glitter and glamour. And generally in this world, when one is faced with the temptations of Maya, one loses good intelligence. And after one is captured by Maya and subjected to suffering, then the good intelligence comes back afterwards. Alas, now I am caught now. I am suffering now. How to get out of it? So, just like for example, when you are hungry on a festival day, especially you are fasting till noon, you feel like gulping down a lot of prasad, 1 o'clock. So there is anxiety to eat a lot. But after eating a lot, then there is anxiety to release it. How will I release it from the belly now? The belly is paining now. This is the meaning of conditioned soul. You'll see that initially there is a desire to enjoy. After enjoying, now we want to get rid of what we want to enjoy. How foolish it is. Whether it is enjoyment of food, enjoyment of opposite sex, anything in this world, you will see that. So that's the meaning of a conditioned soul. Conditioned soul develops raga and dvesha, attachment and aversion. The same gulab jamun which you are madly attracted to, After eating 10, 12 gulab jamuns, your taste buds become flat. And then now you're feeling stomach pain. You want to get rid of it. You will see that. So, foolishly conditioned souls get tempted by Maya. So therefore, he is saying, Pashupasha Vimokshanaya. And then he is saying, but my dear Lord, you are always in a liberated position. Muktaya. You never fall down like we fall down. Like a spark of fire can be extinguished by even a glass of water. But a sun, even if you throw buckets of water in the sun, it can never be extinguished. So Krishna is like the sun, we are like a spark. So therefore you are always muktaya, you are mukta and we are baddha. But that doesn't mean that you are proud in a liberated position. Because generally if somebody is higher than us, they look at people who are fallen into the well, they may laugh at us, but you don't laugh at us. You are merciful upon us. Therefore he says after muktaya, what he says? Bhuri karunaya. And you can just say karunaya. Why is he saying bhuri karunaya? So there are various ways we can perceive Krishna's compassion. One of the first things we can see, for those living entities who have turned away from him, he is creating a facility for their enjoyment, which is material world. The material world he has provided them all the necessities. In any house you live, you will need lighting. So he's put the sun and moon, daylight, nightlight. In any house you live, you will need grocery, grains, fruits, cereals, everything to live peacefully. So he's providing, eatables for the living entities. He's providing drinking water. He's providing the breathing air. He's providing. He's making a platform for you to sit down peacefully, to live also. And he's also providing gold and silver and diamond for making nice ornaments and wearing. He's also providing various subjects and the knowledge of even mundane subjects, which is a great delight for the conditioned soul. Conditioned soul is not so much interested in God. He wants to study knowledge which is not connected to God directly. So he's providing that also. Okay, do that. And then when he's fed up with the knowledge, then he says, okay, take the Vedas now. Study the Vedic literature and come back to me. Maya Mugdha Jivarna hi Swata Krishna Gyan Atayeva Kripaya Koila Krishna Veda Puran. So not only he created this world, he also gave the Veda Puran through Guru Parampara, beginning with Brahma. Krishna gave to Brahma, Brahma gave to Narada, Narada gave to Vyasa, it's coming down. So he is giving us knowledge by which you can go back to him. That is another type of mercy also. He is providing food, clothing, shelter. That is one type of mercy. Providing us knowledge, how to cleanse our heart and go back to him. That's another type of mercy. And not just the knowledge. He is sending so many varieties of mercy. For example, the temple mercy, the Archa Vigraha mercy, Prasadam mercy, the devotees mercy, the holy name mercy, the holy rivers mercy, the Divya Desams mercy. In this way, he is enveloping us with varieties of mercy, merciful forms in which he appears in this world to reclaim us. So that wherever you run, you get something holy. In India, you'll find every street has a temple. The bell is ringing, some holy names are sung, it will fall in your ears, you can't escape it. So, in this way you find, so not creating the material world and providing food, clothing, shelter is very gross mercy for the body, isn't it? And then providing the Vedic knowledge to get back, that is a spiritual mercy. Similarly, spiritual mercy takes varieties of forms. You can see that. And also, Prahlad Maharaj in one verse says, my dear Lord, we have turned away from you, but you are so kind, you have sent our mother, father, and family members to transmit your love to us. Because we can't perceive your love directly. So that love is coming in the through the love of the mother, father, those who are very protective of the children. You can see that how much mother and father, they will even agree to be harmed themselves, but they will not allow their children to be harmed. You have seen that, right? They love their children more than themselves. So this is Krishna's love coming through the near and dear ones. Prahlad is saying that I perceive it to be your love, he says. Any love that I experience in this world coming to me, it is actually that's only an agent transmitting your love to me, like that he says. So in this way, we are emotionally supported by many people also. So not only that, Krishna himself comes as avatara in this world, not just one avatar. He comes as several avatars, Dashavatara he comes, Leela avatars, Guna avatars, Manvantara avatars, Purusha avatars, Shaktavesha avatars. There are 6 types of avatars. He comes. That is another type of mercy. And why does he come? Prabhupada says, sometimes President or Prime Minister goes to a jail to see what are these rascals doing in the jail. Are they becoming gentlemen so that they can be relieved from the jail? Like that, a leader of a country goes to the jail, Prabhupada says. In the same manner, Krishna comes to see what my part and parcels are doing in the material world. Are they making a plan to come back to me, or are they rotting more and more? So he comes personally and he performs his colorful pastimes. And he also, gives knowledge. Actually, he is very fond of giving knowledge. You can see, as Krishna, he gives knowledge to Arjuna in the form of Bhagavad Gita. As Hamsavatar, he gives knowledge to Chatushkumaras and Brahma. As Rishabhadev, he gives knowledge to the 100 sons. You will see that. As Kapila, he gives knowledge to his mother Devotee. You will see that. In the same manner as Vishnu, he gives knowledge to Brahma at the time of creation. So in this way, if you study the scriptures, you will find in many other occasions you will see Lord is very fond of giving knowledge, like he is giving knowledge to Uddhava in Uddhava Gita, the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord likes his devotees to ask him questions and then he will give answers to them. Thereby the whole world will benefit. So in this way, when he comes in this world, 2 things he does. One is giving knowledge. Another thing is performing pastimes. So the pastimes charm the heart of the living entity, after which they are willing to listen to the knowledge that he is giving. So they will sit down and listen what the Lord is speaking. And then they can become purified by that knowledge. So, and then further aspects of mercy are explained here. He says, Madrik prapanna pashupasha vimokshanaya muktaya bhuri karunaya. This is the meaning of bhuri karunaya. You are so merciful that your mercy is limitless. For example, imagine if a father wants his son to study engineering or medical or something, go to college, and he is willing to send money. But son is becoming a drunkard, he is becoming a chain smoker, he is going for parties and movies and failing in all the papers. So which father will not be angry in this world? Many fathers will even stop sending the money. Like one boy was telling me, Rojmere, Papa is not sending money nowadays. I asked why he has become angry. What did you do? Then he told me that these are the things he was doing. So father came to meet him and tried to correct him. The boy was not getting corrected. Then father clearly told him, see, we come from a good family. Our family money should not be used for your drinking and smoking. You get lost. Do what you wish. Go to some hotel, become a waiter and earn money and survive. I'm not going to give you money for the college fee or money for your eating, sleeping also. Any father will become angry if the son goes against the will of the father and becomes rebellious. But you can see Krishna is merciful because your father sometimes allows a son to commit mistakes and learn. So this material world is created for those jivas who want to commit mistakes and get some, lessons, and then they can reform. So he's giving that opportunity. Correct, no? Will any of you create a facility for somebody who want to act independent of you? Imagine you have a department with 5 people. All the 5 fellows want to do 5 different things. They all want to play their own, what do you call it? One want to play violin, one want to play drum, one want to play trumpet, but none of them, you are the director, you are waving hand, nobody is listening to you. Will any of you provide them facility? Because they are not bringing about symphony. You know what is symphony? Symphony means, you tell the violin, then he'll play violin. You tell the drum, he'll play drum. You tell the trumpet, he'll play trumpet. Then each one has to play at different times of the music. Then the singer should sing. Correct, no? If all the instrument players say that, no, I want prominence, I want to be noticed, I am very important, and they all start playing their own, everybody is playing. The whole music will be spoiled. Nobody will like it. And you will also get fed up. You will take back the instrument and throw them out. Correct, no? But you can see Krishna has allowed all these jivas to come in the world, and everybody is playing their own trumpet. Everybody is playing their own fiddle. Everybody want to do what they want to do. And for their independently enacted program, he is providing facility. Therefore, he is merciful. It's not ordinary. It's an extraordinary mercy it is. Allowing them to commit mistakes, get some little suffering, and they learn over a period of time. Sometimes a child, you will see that, he goes to a park and he want to play in the seesaw, he want to come in the slide. Of course, the father takes him to a park, and then sometimes the child gets hurt, he is crying. Sometimes the child is coming in the slide, he is smiling. So he is getting sukha dukkha, but the father is just sitting in the park bench and watching. And the child is earning his own sukha dukkha by his own activities. So this is another type of mercy. You say, Swamshena sarva tanubrin manasi pratita. He's saying that Lord comes as super soul in the heart of living beings. Now why is he saying that, Gajendra? Madrik prapanna pashupasha vimokshanaya muktaya bhuri karunaya. So bhuri karunaya means it's very merciful. But namo alayaya means he is never inattentive, he says. I will tell this little later. It's a very important word. Namo alayaya. And somebody may say, okay, Lord is very merciful, but you see, he is very far away. He is in his own abode. I don't know whether he is thinking of me. Therefore he says, Swamshena, Sarvadanabar Manasi. Hey, he is right next to you. Where? In your heart. Don't say he is very far away. Therefore, Gajendra in another prayer says, Ivati Duram. He is saying, Ivati Duram means he appears he is far away, but he is not far away. Where is he? Right next to the jiva. The moment you want to meet him, immediately is available for you. You don't want to meet him, he appears he is far away. That's how he is. Like for example, nowadays, anywhere you go, you can get a copy of Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita now. Everywhere. One fellow was telling me when I went to sell Bhagavad Gita. At that time, he had a heavy luggage. So he said, I have one, he said, but I want to take for my parents, And then he said, right now my luggage is very heavy, I will take it later. I said, see, later on you may not get, I said. He said, no, wherever I turn around, I see people showing Bhagavad Gita. And they are all your people only. He was telling you, go to airport, you see Bhagavad Gita. You see railway station, you see Gita. So, Bhagavad Gita showing up everywhere means Krishna is showing up. I'm here. Everywhere he is available. That is his mercy. Swamshena sarvatanavaran manasi pratita. So, like that he is saying. So, the freedom that he has given to the jivas to independently do what they want and learn their lesson, get purified gradually at their own pace, and everybody want to go at their own pace. And he gives them the breathing space. He allows the pace and gives breathing space, both. Correct? So many of us will get fed up with people's pace. Correct? No? Hey, why are you not picking up your pace? How many years? Imagine a boy is 20-year-old boy is still wearing diaper. Will you be happy? Or a diaper is for small kids. Now you are supposed to wear a proper dress. But Lord is ready to see a jiva wearing diaper at 60 years also. He's saying, no problem. Take your own pace. Come at whatever pace you can. And he gives them the breathing space. How he gives them the breathing space? He is willing to give knowledge, but he doesn't force that knowledge. He is standing next to the jiva, but he has made the jiva not see him. Actually, sometimes children want to play, but they don't like the mother or father watching them. Like a small kid wants to play with his friends. And then the kid will look up and see, Mama or Papa is watching. You say, hey, you go inside. Why are you watching me? I will play. But the mama wants to see, what is he talking to the other boys? What type of behavior he is showing? Is he biting somebody? Or beating somebody? Or is he speaking politely? Because the parents are always thinking, I want to make my, son a great acharya, or a great like Prahalad, or, great devotee. Many parents have that desire. So the parents are looking with a good intention, but the children don't like interference of the parents. They oftentimes, they want freedom. So Paramatma is such an amazing Lord that he stands next to you, but you don't know he's there. He gives us ignorance so that we can actually be thinking that nobody is watching me. I am independent. But he is actually watching us. But then when we grow in maturity, we are desirous to give up sinful activities and we want to approach Lord. Instantly you see him. Immediately you will see through Lord you get Guru, through Guru you get Lord, we say, no? Like that. What is the meaning of seeing Paramatma? Prabhupada explains that you all know what is called conscience, we call it. We feel guilty when we commit some sinful activities. That guilt feeling actually is supplied by the super soul. He's giving us, because we are sincere, he is giving us a warning. If we become insincere, we say conscience is made blind, we say. What is the meaning of that? That means repeatedly we commit sinful activities, then the conscience doesn't give you the signal. It doesn't give you the signal that you're going in the wrong path. You become hard-skinned. That means super soul leaves you, hands you over to Maya completely. So that we need basically Latonka Booth, we call it. Latonka Booth? Baton se manta nahi. So Lord is willing to correct us, guide us, but with His word. If we don't agree His word, then there is fraud. So Shastra, if we don't follow, then we have Shastra. Then He hands over to Maya. And Maya also purifies. And Prabhupada says, somebody may say, Maya is so cruel. If you read in Teachings of Queen Kunti, Prabhupada gives a beautiful analogy. He says, when a tiger is chasing after a deer and biting the deer and tearing the body of the deer is thinking, I am gone now, I am finished. Is he actually finished? Is he finished? In the deer's body, who is there? Soul. Does the soul die? Krishna says, in Gita, what he says? Nainam chindanti shastrani nainam dahati papakah najainam kledayantyapo na shoshayati marutah. He says, the soul cannot be cut with scissors. The soul cannot be burnt by fire. The soul cannot be moistened by water. The soul cannot be dried by air. So although the deer's body is being bitten by the tiger and eaten, the soul in the body of the deer comes out. Because the soul is never harmed by anybody. So, na hanyate hanyamane sharire, Krishna says that. But this kind of fear principle is kept in this world to create that emergency for the soul. So, when the jiva se jivanam principle is there, depending on the jiva's atrocities, then the jiva gets that type of body where he has to face this fear principle. Actually, fear principle reduces to the degree you align with the Lord. You will see that. As you go up, you will see fear principle. You go from tamoguna to rajoguna to sattva and beyond to sattva to vishuddha sattva, you become really fearless. You will see that. Because the awareness will come that I am not the body, I am spirit, soul. No one can harm me. I am under protection of the Lord. That gives, like Prahalad was fearless, Ambarish was fearless, Parikshit Maharaj was fearless. Parikshit Maharaj, he expresses his fearless in one verse. Tammopayatam pratiyantu vipra ganga cha devi dita chittamishe vijopasrishtas kohakastakshakova dashatpalam gayada vishnu gatha. He's telling, I am sitting in the bank of the holy Ganges, surrounded by all the saintly people, and I am hearing Krishna Katha. So why should I fear? My destination is, already assured that I will attain Vaikuntha. So I have nothing to fear, he says. So in this way, the lower we go away from the Lord, the fear principle is actually created so that we can come back to balance and, original platform. Like for example, if I touch fire, there is a, what do you call it? That heat sensation. Why is it kept? So that I will not harm my hand. Isn't it? Similarly, you go to a mountain top and try to go to the edge of the cliff and you peep down. What do you feel? You get fear. Why the fear is kept? Imagine if there is no fear. Just like you are walking in the road from here to there, you are walking. Like that, if you are walking, there is no fear. What you are likely to do? You will just walk ahead also, you will walk. And then when you fall upside down, break your head, then you will realize. Probably you will not realize, you will die by the time. Isn't it? Therefore, what is kept? Fear is kept. So fear is kept for our good, safety and good. It is kept like that. Similarly, the lower we go to lower consciousness, there is, shoka, moha, bhaya, lamentation, fear of the future, lamentation of the past, illusion of the present. These things increase when we are in tamaguna, rajaguna. When you go to sattva-guna and when you go to vishuddha sattva, one will feel blissfully situated even in this world also. Even though, like for example, if a police is coming, they are carrying a gun also. Sometimes the children are afraid sometimes. But you don't have to be afraid. Why? Who should be afraid? Thief will be afraid. If you're not a thief, you have no reason to be afraid. Similarly, the law breakers will be fearful. Law abiders have no reason to be fearful. That's how he has created the world here. The world is made in such a way that you do the right things, you become healthier in body, consciousness, everything. Like for example, you take vegetarian food offered to Krishna, you do yoga, you do pranayama, you do meditation, you do chanting, you lead a sattvic life, you feel a sense of happiness. Krishna says that. He says that one experiences sukham and jnanam. One can experience. The more the wisdom increases, jnanam increases, sukham also increases. You feel life is peaceful, blissful, you will see that. And if somebody is breaking the four regulative principles, you can't be happy. Immediately there's a guilty feeling, there is pain, there are sufferings. One has to go to doctor, then one has to take medicines, then one is punished by the police or one is punished by Yamadutas. So that is the way he has created this world. That means the world is created for eventually giving us freedom. You walk towards freedom, the world is created in such a way that you walk towards freedom, you are rewarded. You walk towards sinful activities, you are subject to more bondage. That means the nature itself encourages you to do good. And the nature itself encourages you to avoid the wrong path. Like in computer also we have this foolproofing, you know that? If you put it in one way, the pen drive will go. Other way you put it won't go. What do you call that? Foolproofing. Foolproofing. Similarly, this world is full. Foolproofing is done. That walking the wrong path, we are told, no, not this way. Go that way. It gives us direction like that. Now, one of the amazing thing with his compassion is, he never closes the doors of Vaikuntha for the demons also. He has given us freedom to go to material world, enjoy the way you want. He gives knowledge. He is standing next to you. He is hiding from you. He will only reveal if you want him to reveal himself. And then, say somebody want to take million lifetimes, after which you go back to Godhead. He doesn't say, why did you become so late? Get lost. He doesn't say. His doors of Vaikuntha are always open. Anytime any jiva wants to return back, they can return back. That freedom he has given. And not only that, if a jiva turns to him to show little inclination towards them, therefore he writes here, the Lord accepts least qualification of the living entity and awards him the highest reward. When it comes to accepting from the jiva, what he expects? Least qualification. Now in that connection, I will tell you from Bhagavad Gita, you present a disqualification, Krishna will immediately knock it down with one shloka. Somebody may say, you see, my Lord, I am actually, I am money-minded businessman. I don't know how will I get time to think about you. But he says, Striyo Vaishya Sata Shudra Te Api Yanti Param Gatim. He says, even Striya Vaishya Tata Shudra, because each of these people have some limitation. For example, women are very caring and they are very sensitive to the family and friends and relatives. For example, Kayadu was hearing lecture from Narada, but the boy heard very well. Who? Prahlad. But Kayadu was a bit inattentive because she had two worries. One worry was about Hiranyakashipu who had gone to perform penance. What is going to happen to him? When will he come? And another worry was about the child who was already made, an assassination attempt was made by the Devatas. So she was in a little bit of state of fear. Hopefully the child will come out peacefully and Devatas will not kill him. So she had a double fear, one for husband, one for child. So she couldn't pay attention to Narada's talk, it is said. So, or sometimes a woman has not become a proper devotee yet. She has a materialistic disposition. Like Prabhupada says, a woman is thinking, when will I get a good husband who will give me a beautiful bungalow, a big car, very nice dresses to wear, good ornaments and beautiful children, and he will be gentle in speech, and he will be kind to me and very nice fine food. And in this way, he'll keep me very nicely. He will take me all around the world. This kind of dreams generally women have. I'm not talking about devotee Matajis. Devotee Matajis are all exalted. They have by practice purposes, devotee Mataji should be seen like Kunti Maharani or like Draupadi or Subhadra. Then you transcend those natures which are lower nature. But So Striya, Vaishyas, Vaishya, what is the problem with Vaishya? Vaishya is always thinking of money, 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 money is honey. Huh? That is this, all the time he's counting. You can see when he's counting money, he's smiling. What will happen? Huh? And they're putting a rubber band and stacking, stacking, stacking. You know, these people are very difficult to tell them anything about Krishna. And nothing will penetrate their ears. So much attachment to that money. And Shudras, they will never go to Gurukul, they will run away. If you put them in Gurukul, you will not find them. Because they have no taste for studying the Shastra, no taste for reciting shlokas. They have no taste for, taking, initiative, taking responsibility. Sometimes, maybe if you tell them, do this work, do that work, they may do. But they don't have that Brahminical inclination. So how are they going to study Shastra? How are they going to understand the Lord? And they tend to get into bad habits like smoking, drinking and things like that. So that's why he says, Tepi anti paramgatam, even they can be delivered, he says. So there is one verse in Bhagavatam, it says, Te vai vidanti ati taranti cha deva mayam, stri shudra hurna shabara apipapa jivaha, yadyadbhuta krama parayana shila shiksha, tiriyang jana kimu api shrutadharanaye. If, what to speak of these category of people, even Shabara people, those who eat pigs, even people who are Papa Jivas, Mlechas, Chandalas, dog eaters, cow flesh eaters, even if they agree to be submissive to a pure devotee and they take holy names from a pure devotee and they chant the holy names, even they can be delivered back to Godhead, he says. Yadyadbhuta krama parayana shila shiksha. They should practice devotion service under guidance of a pure devotee. Then they can be taken back, he says. Now, somebody may say, you see, I need to work for some time, do a job, earn some money. Let me stabilize my material life because, world is a challenging place. After that, I can practice devotion service. What Krishna says? Yoga kshemam paham. I will preserve what you have and I will provide what you lack. You don't worry about your maintenance, I will take care of you. Like that he says. Somebody says that, no, my Lord, you see, I am a great sinner. I can't even show your face. Like one fellow was driving auto. When the auto stopped, I showed him a Bhagavad Gita. He said, no, I am a great sinner. I cannot touch such holy books. You are all holy people. No, it's only for people like you, not for me. I said, okay, I'll give you a carry bag, take it. You don't have to touch the book. He said, I had eaten meat and come now. He said, okay, you don't have to touch now. Tomorrow you take bath and then you see it. So, what Krishna says? Apichet suduracharo bhajate mamananya bhak sadureva samantavya samyak vyavasito hi saha. He says that kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashvachantim nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Many people who fell from their position were quickly rectified by Krishna. Somebody was given a body of a deer and immediately taken to another Brahmana's body and delivered. You will find somebody was destined to go to hell and Yamadutas came to catch him and one loud shout of the holy name Narayana. He was quickly delivered from that position and then he became a great devotee and went back to Godhead. You will see that. So, Lord says that, don't worry about being a sinner. Apichedasi papebhya. What is the next line? Papebhya. Apichedasi papebhya means, even if somebody is a great papi, sarvam jnana plavenaiva vijnam santarishyasi, he says. He says that if you accept this Bhagavad Gita, it will act like a plava, means like a boat, and it will cross you over the ocean of material existence. One more verse in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, Mat chitta sarva durgani mat prasada tarishyasi atachetvam ahankaram nashroshyasi vinangshasi. That was also talks about crossing over the material existence. So I'll personally deliver if you become my devotee. He says, what? Tesham aham samuddarta. Aham, he says. Mrityu samsara sagarat, bhavayam nechirat parthamaya veshchitsam. I'll personally deliver you. Many promises Krishna makes in Bhagavad Gita. Somebody says, okay, all that is all right to do devotion service is wonderful. But you see, Ambarish Prabhu is a crorepati, he has so much facility to build a TOVP. I am not so rich. Somebody says, what he says? Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya praj. He says, just offer me a leaf. Huh? Can't one offer one tulasi leaf? Can't you offer little water? Everywhere it's available. Huh? The Prabhupada says, Krishna is not demanding Lord. He is not expecting anything other than love. So he says, I am asking you for simple items. Why can't you provide these things? You see, that is also, there's a very great logical reason behind it. I'll tell you what. If you see in India, traditionally people have a sanctorum in their house also. There is a puja room. Daily they will go in the morning, they will lit up the lamp and they'll take away the old flowers and they'll put new flowers. Similarly, if they offered fruit yesterday, then they'll take away the fruit and they will offer fresh new fruits to the Lord. Correct, no? Patram, pushpam. Correct, no? Yeah. So every day you have to offer tulasi when you are offering any bhoga to Lord. Only then He will accept. So patram, pushpam, phalam. Similarly, if you kept like I remember in our home, my father used to keep a glass of milk in the morning. And he will bow down and do some puja. And then he'll take the milk and distribute to everybody. So next day you have to keep new milk. Old milk is already given away, correct? No? Therefore, Krishna is very intelligent Lord. He is telling these 4 items because you will have to interact with the Lord every day. Because that interaction will awaken love. That is the goal actually. Man is so foolish nowadays. Instead of lighting up a lamp, he has a low voltage bulb he puts. You've seen that? He doesn't have to interact with the Lord. Yeah. And agarbatti also, nowadays have plastic agarbatti with 2 electric points. You've seen that? How many of you have seen that? Correct, no? Yeah. He thinks permanently I will put it so I don't have to go near the Lord only. Huh? So how foolish it is, just see. And even the decoration, people put a lot of artificial flower decorations. Because they say if you put fresh flower, it gets dried up. So what they do? Artificial flower, permanently put it. Then you don't have to go near there. After 6 months you go, there will be cobwebs in the room, in the sanctum sanctorum. How foolish it is. So, therefore, Lord wants us to interact with Him. If you go to puja room, at least you will look at His face every day. At least you will think about who He is and what book He spoke, the Bhagavad Gita and all that you will think. One should interact with the Lord regularly. In this way, any reason you give, Lord has some answer for that. In Bhagavad Gita, you will find many more like that. There are, I only told you a few now. If you read the 9th chapter, last part of 9th chapter, the glories of devotional service, there are many, many, many verses like that. Not only that, somebody may say, there are people who say that, when you give a Bhagavad Gita, they say, I am illiterate. I don't even know a letter. But do you have interest in God? That's the question. Even if somebody is an illiterate, you will see there was one gardener who was making flowers in the garden. Bhaksan Saraswati Thakur came out of the matha and then he met this gardener and he asked him questions about Krishna, Vishnu, Radharani, all these questions. 4 or 5 questions he asked and he answered all of them. So Bhaksan Saraswati Thakur was amazed. He said, you are an illiterate, how do you know all the answers to my questions? He said, Guruji, whatever you have been speaking, I have been hearing. By hearing, I learnt everything. By hearing from you. So that gardener was hearing with interest. Therefore, he learned everything about the Lord. And he became a disciple of Bhaksan Saraswati Thakur. So in this way, you will find that if you have interest in the Lord, Lord says, Tesham evanukam partham aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayam yatma bhavasto jnanadipena bhaswata. He says, even if one is an illiterate, I will lit up his heart with the torchlight of knowledge and I will drive out the darkness of ignorance. He says like that. And here comes a very, very important point now. Lord makes differentiation between devotees and non-devotees. He makes differentiation in one angle. In another angle, He doesn't make differentiation. I'll tell about both. For example, if there is a principal of a school, he has got many teachers under him and there are 1,000 children going to school. If one of the children fails in mathematics subject, can he blame the principal? A principal has failed him. I think he's envious of me. The child says, it's utter foolishness because principal has given him a maths teacher and the boy failed in the exam because he must have fared poorly. So in that sense, Krishna actually created the world, put the demigods who are like teachers and children who are like living entities like all of us. So demigods are monitoring and managing the material world. You can't blame Krishna at all. He's aloof from this world. In that sense, he's equal to all, we can say. Like the rain shower is equal to all. It's not that only in rich people's house rain will pour. It's not like that. It's equal to all. Sunlight is equal to all. Moonlight equal to all. Wind is equal to all. Similarly, Krishna is equal to all from that point of view. But from another point of view, Krishna is not equal to all. He's partial towards devotees. I'll tell you the reason why. Because if someone takes interest in him, someone turns to him, somebody begs him for his shelter, then Krishna definitely provides that type of shelter for the devotee. You will see that he says that Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yenama upayanti te. He says that those who are making an effort to continuously engage in devotional service and they don't want to turn to Maya, they are always with Krishna related activities. And second thing is priti purvakam, they lovingly offer devotional service. So Krishna, what he says, for them I supply knowledge. And he does not supply knowledge to the non-devotees. Because the non-devotees are envious of him. And if Krishna would supply knowledge, that will be like throwing pearls to swine. Don't throw pearls to swine. That's a saying in English. If you throw pearls to a pig, pig will smell the pearl like that. Oh, it's not stool, he'll go away. Because he doesn't know anything better than stool. So therefore, Krishna says, Krishna vinna vichaliyet. Don't throw pearls to swine, he says in Bhagavad Gita. So, therefore you will find he doesn't supply knowledge to those who are not interested in him. But if somebody hires him, he will give him knowledge. For example, when Arjuna told Krishna, Senayor Rubyor Madhye Ratam Stapayame, put my chariot in between the two armies. So what did Krishna do? Silently he took it and kept it. Completely silent. You will not hear Krishna speaking a word in the Bhagavad Gita first chapter. He's just silently watching. Then Arjuna watched both sides. There's only one thing Krishna does, Prahasanniva Bharata. He's mildly smiling. Why he is smiling? He knows this fellow is going to cry now. Very soon Arjuna will see both the armies. And that is the next scene going to come. So Krishna already knows what's going to happen. So now he will cry. He will seek shelter of some guru. Finally, he will not find any guru. He will accept me as a guru. Then only I will give him knowledge. So Arjuna cried. Not only Arjuna cried, he was a learned person. So his crying is also combined with giving 5 excuses why he will not fight. All are actually from Vedic point of view, they are all very exalted knowledge. Different dharmas he presented from Dharma Shastra. So the 5 reasons Arjuna gave. What was Krishna doing at that time? Was he giving some cross question? You will not hear one shloka there. All reasons continuously Arjuna is giving, Krishna is listening. Go ahead. After that, then when Arjuna completely collapsed, put his Gandiva down, Nayotse iti Govinda Muktva Tushnim Babuvaha. And then he cried out to Krishna, and then Krishna allowed him to cry. Emotionally, you went out, whatever you have. Only when you really want to hire me, only then I will give you advice. And then Arjuna told Krishna that Shishyasteham. Krishna said to Shishya, what are you talking? We both are friends. We joke with each other. How will you take my word seriously? Better you go to Vedavyas. And then Arjuna says, Vedavyas cannot understand my psychology. Only you know me. I have been your thick friend. You have been my heart-to-heart friend. You know exactly what's going on in my mind, Krishna. So I want to accept you as my guru. And then Prabhupada says, friendly talks are useless. But then when Arjuna accepted him as a guru, then Krishna begins knowledge. You will see that. So you will find Krishna says, why Krishna says, Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam? If somebody wants Krishna as a guru, Krishnam Mande Jagat Guru, then only Krishna will give knowledge. If somebody thinks, I know better how to enjoy this world, Krishna says, okay, go on with your program. Apohanam he gives, forgetfulness for them. And they will make false arguments even after they come to ISKCON. They will fight with devotees. They will offend the devotees. They will give 101 reasons why they left ISKCON. They will give many excuses. This is not proper, that's not proper, management is not proper, this devotee is like that devotee is like that. Then they will leave and go. Because Krishna gives them forgetfulness. Because they don't want to become devotee. Then people go away also. So here is a very important point that he gives knowledge and remembrance to his devotees to come back to him. So this is very interesting that Lord accepts the least qualification of the living entity. Like somebody may say, I am only a child, a 5-year-old boy. Krishna says, don't worry. See Dhruva, see Prahlad, see Dasiputra, they all became devotees. Somebody says, I don't have even a human body. I am a monkey, no problem. Hanuman became a devotee. I am an eagle, don't worry. There is Jatayu or Garuda, they are devotees. Anybody can become devotee. You are small, you are big. There is one lecture His Holiness Bhaktisant Maharaj gave in those days. He said, how you can do bhakti when you are in the womb of your mother, and after you become a 5-year-old boy, then when you are in your prime of youth, then when you become an old man, and even at the verge of death, you can do bhakti like Ajamila. So everything, Maharaj was giving all this one pastime he was telling. And then somebody asked, Maharaj, out of this, which one I should choose? He said, what is your age? He asked. He said, I am 40. He said, immediately start. He said, Shubhasya Shigram. He said, no, Maharaj, I was thinking, should I wait like Ajamila, Dhritarashtra? He said, no, don't wait. I told their examples because there are some old people also sitting in the audience. It is for them, not for you, he was telling. Because better late than never. One should begin immediately. That means bhakti can be done by anybody in any walk of life. Nobody can give any excuses. Even in Bhagavatam it is said, Aghayituki apratihata. See, in this world you will find, if a boy and girl match has to be done, you will see that even though the boy may be a good boy, he may be having a good character, but sometimes the girl's father says, you see, you are only making 4 lakh per annum. And I am looking for a boy who may be earning 10 lakh per annum. So they remove his name. He has no chance to marry that girl. But Krishna doesn't say, see, I am Lakshmipati, at least you should be Karodpati. Does he say like that? He says, you can be a penniless beggar, still you can be my devotee. Therefore, in becoming a devotee, there is no condition. Correct, no? Or sometimes, if a boy has to marry a girl, the girl's parents may say, our girl is fair and you are black, so you can't marry. Does Krishna see the pigment color of the skin? He is ready to accept African devotees also. Correct, no? Somebody can be black, somebody can be fair, somebody can be mid color also, maybe yellow. Whatever be your skin color, he doesn't see. Caste, creed, color, nationality, nothing he sees. So in this way, we can prove that there are no impediments you can present on why you cannot become a devotee. That's why he says that he accepts the least qualification of the living entity and awards him the highest reward. So I felt this when Prabhupada delivered the hippies. The hippies were in a very, very precarious position. And Prabhupada actually gave them the highest thing in the whole creation. Although they were actually degraded to the lowest extent. Such a radical change he brought about and gave them the highest gift. So I'll read just a few sentences here. Here, Maharaj is quoting from one purport of Prabhupada. Sorry, not purport, Krishna book. This is Krishna book, 87 chapter, volume 2, page 330. He has written 87 chapter. Here Prabhupada says here. So, here Prabhupada writes here how all the living entities naturally are joyful, eternal, and full of knowledge. But due to faults of their own, so I made an acronym out of this. You can easily remember. FIRST. What is it? First you can remember. F means due to faults of their own. I means they imitate you in trying to become supreme, enjoyer. And R means they rebel against your supremacy and they disobey your laws. And they become sinners and offenders. And T means they are trapped by Maya Shakti. This is actually prayer by personified Vedas. They are saying that. What are they saying? Although jiva is Sachidananda, but due to faults of their own, they imitate you in trying to become supreme enjoyer. They rebel against your supremacy and disobey your laws. And they become sinners and offenders. And they become trapped by Maya Shakti. So this talks about how the jiva fell down into this world. Yeah. So Prabhupada writes, the greatest glory of Krishna of all his glories is that his causeless mercy upon the conditioned souls and reclaiming them from clutches of Maya by personally coming himself. Visena Brahmanda Brahmeta Kon Bhagyavan Jiva. So he sends the Guru So, here he says, part of parenthood is allowing one's children to learn from their own mistakes. That too is compassion. Sometimes we really must suffer in order to come to our senses. So Prabhupada gave that example of the, child who wanted to see the moon. The parents gave him a mirror. So the child thought, now inside the mirror I have captured the moon. Huh? He was very satisfied foolishly. But that was necessary, otherwise the child will keep on crying. Similarly, Krishna gives some like imitation pleasure in this world so that the jiva can keep peaceful for some time until he realizes his ignorance. Yeah. So I'm concluding now with some one or two points. Now, here he says, Krishna's mercy is generalized for non-devotees, but he has a special concern and favor for devotees. He is never neutral for devotee, a special concern and favor. So, for those devotees who know him or those who love him with faith, for them he has a special concern. So, how that special concern comes? That also is explained in one chapter. He explains about how Krishna protects his devotee. So, for example, how Krishna protects his devotee from the three gunas. He puts a bulletproof covering over those devotees who are engaged in the bhakti yoga process. The gunas cannot touch them. They become gunatit or nivritta guna, vrittiye. Because the nature of bhakti itself is absorbing. And also, Lord is also revealing his pastimes, which makes it easy for the devotee to meditate on him. There is one verse which he says to the Yajnik Brahmana's wives, that you attain me not by vicinity, by being close to me, but by remembering about me. By remembering about me, you will attain me very easily. He tells them. So go back to your homes and chant my holy names and remember me, and you will definitely attain me in this very life. Yeah. So, anyway, it's a big chapter, it'll take time, but one last point I'll make and conclude. Krishna's protection, when we talk about, we generally tend to think, Kaunte pratijanahi name bhakta pranashyati, means Maharaj, what he writes here, he says, don't expect Krishna to be like a bodyguard standing next to you. Any problem? I am here. Like that. People think like that. I am a devotee, how can I get COVID? Or I am a devotee, how can I get sick? Or I am a devotee, how I can have some financial loss? So many people have a very rudimentary understanding of Krishna's protection. The most important way by which Krishna protects a devotee is he preserves the devotee's devotion. For example, if you take the example of Bharat Maharaj, repeatedly Bharat was committing mistake of getting attracted to the deer. Krishna must have given him warning, but he didn't pay heed to the warnings. So Prabhupada says he gave a little punishment to him. What was it? Next life he gave him the deer's body. So it appears like he is falling down to deer's body. But from the deer's body, you will see that he was eating dry grass instead of lushy green grass. He was going to the Pulahashrama to associate with saintly people. He left his home, Kalanjara Parvat, to avoid the relatives and friends who will pamper him. And he constantly wept tears of repentance. These are all symptoms that spiritually he went high. Materially, there is a fall down. If you see the deer, Bharat's body to deer's body, it's a spiritual elevation. As Bharat, he was not crying tears. As Bharat, he was not actually lamenting or anything. As Bharat, he was actually getting attracted to deer. But now he made progress to constantly remembering the Lord and taking association seriously and all that. So those who have eyes to see, they can see that spiritually he advanced in deer's body. Although materially he got a deer's body, which is like a degradation. So this is the mercy of Krishna. That Krishna protects the devotee's devotion, not just protects it, he enhances it. I was just thinking, you will see, how the devotees are not disturbed by defeats. I was just making a list. Like you see, Parishit Maharaj is cursed by our Shringi. It appears like a defeat. But then he heard Srimad Bhagavatam and went back to Godhead. That's a spiritual success. Ambarish Maharaj defeated apparently by Durvasa Muni by creating a big demon to kill him. And Ambarish Maharaj just folding palms and remembering the Lord. And Lord sent Sudarshan Chakra and protected him also. At the same time, his Krishna consciousness became enhanced even more. And he became glorified in the face of Bhagavatam. Similarly, think about Vritrasura got an Asura body. But in that Asura body, Krishna enhanced his remembrance of Krishna. Now, similarly, you will find each of the cases of the Prahlad Maharaj was so much tormented by his father, but that led to enhanced remembrance of the Lord. Dhruva Maharaj was, scorched by the Suruchi's behavior, but then he saw Vishnu and then he became most glorious devotee in the whole creation. Now you will see. Vidura was driven out of the palace, which appears like a defeat. But then that turned into a pilgrimage, meeting pure devotees like Uddhava and, Maitreya and such personalities. And ultimately became a great saintly person, delivering even Dhritarashtra, his brother also. You will see that. So materially, these devotees are defeated. Spiritually, they became exalted. And they became a success, you will see. And see the person on the other side. Like Prahlad was troubled by Hiranyakashipu. He appeared to be materially successful by becoming Triloka Adhipati. And he was very soon killed by Lord Narasimha. You will see that. Same way, Durvasa Muni appears to be having upper hand over Ambarish. Very soon he was driven by the Sudarshan Chakra. You see that. And Kauravas appeared to be driving away Vidura, but the whole dynasty was destroyed because they couldn't recognize a pure devotee. They mishandled him and they were destroyed completely. You will see that. And take one pastime like this. Each of it you will find this. You will find that those who are materially instantly successful, spiritually they failed and they became inglorious. On the other hand, those devotees who were materially apparently defeated, they became spiritually successful and pleased the Lord and attained perfection. Another example is Prithu and Indra also, isn't it? Indra appears to be winner, Prithu appears to be loser. But Prithu and Archie are going back to Godhead, demigods are showering flowers and Indra is stuck here. If I give you an example, you will immediately appreciate. In one ISKCON temple, the president told one HOD of a department that, Prabhu, I want you to hand over this department to another devotee. And I want you to go to that preaching center, which is very soon going to become a temple. Because that preaching center was led by one devotee who has gone abroad now. He's not there. I want you to hand over the temple and money they have already collected. In a couple of years, they are going to build the temple. So you go and lead that preaching center and you can become president of that temple. So this fellow was very upset with the president. Why are you removing me from this department? I have been a HOD for last 6 years. You cannot remove me. So he is adamantly attached to his HOD post. So how many of you will leave your HOD post and go to that center, preaching center, if you are given an opportunity? And he is ready. Balabhadra Kripa Prabhu is ready. How many of you? You won't go? You won't go? Raise your hand. Yeah. So everybody is ready, correct? So Prithu is compared to whom and Indra is compared to whom? Prithu is one who is ready to go to the center and Indra is attached to his HOD post. Correct, no? Because he doesn't understand this HOD post is inferior to running a whole temple there. Correct, no? You can go back to Godhead. He doesn't understand its value and he is stuck in the Indra's post. So in this way you will see, he remained a Shatakratu and Prithu Maharaj became Shatakratu also. He was equal to Shatakratu. He could do that. He had the capacity and he went back to Godhead also. You will see that. So therefore, this is the mercy of the Lord for the devotee. This devotee, who can understand this mercy to devotees? Who can understand? Only devotee can understand. Therefore, it is said only a devotee can understand a devotee. It is said. Many people may not be able to immediately understand. Like Bali Maharaj, it appears that Lord took away. See, in South India, Kerala, once they invited me for an online lecture. I was giving a lecture. So one fellow asked, why did your Aryan Vamandev come and take away the property of our Dravidians? Bali Chakravarti. Like that, angrily one person asked a question. Then he asked the organizers, what is this question he's asking? Then he told me, they have a notion that Dravidians are headed by Bali Maharaj and Aryans are headed by Vamandev, who is coming and taking away his land property. Then next half an hour he told the whole pastime Vamanadev past time I explained, I said, what are you talking? Vamanadev is neither Aryan nor Dravidian. He is Supreme Lord, you know. Yeah. He is Supreme Lord. And when he took the property of Bali, Bali happily gave it. After that, Lord told Bali, since you have surrendered to me, I give you 3 benedictions. I took away Indra's property and I am giving it to Indra. But next lifetime, you are going to become Indra. And the same property which I took it from you will come back to you. Correct, no? So is there any loss? Like mother takes away the mobile from a child because child is a child. After the boy grows to teenage, then she gives it back to him. Huh? Because child should not use a mobile. Huh? Like that, Lord took away from Bali, and Bali became mature devotee, and Mahajan he became, Lord gave him back the kingdom as Indra. The Lord also told, I will become your doorkeeper. Daily you can have my darshan. Thirdly, he told him, I will make you king of Bilasvarga. Huh? He made him. So 3 benedictions he gave. And one more, 4th benediction is, his name entered into the list of 12 Mahajans. Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kumara, Kapilo, Manu, Prahlado, Janako, Bhishmu, Bhishmo, Balir. Yeah. Can you imagine? So, devotees only can understand the glory of Bali Maharaj. Foolish people, from materialistic point of view, they may not understand. So, this is also mercy of the Lord. He gives Shuddha Bhakti mercy. He gives. One ultimate mercy which many people are afraid is Yasyaham Managruhnami Harishye Taddaram Shanai. One brahmachari's father or grandfather came to meet Prabhupada. So he was a very pious man. He came and folded hands to Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, please give me mercy. He said. Prabhupada asked, what do you want? You want mercy or special mercy? The man thought it's like dosa and special dosa. Which one you like generally? So special dosa has something stuff inside, no? And ordinary dosa is only like this, only paper. So he said, Swamiji, special mercy. So, and then the old man asked Prabhupada, what is the difference between the two? Prabhupada said, mercy means you get chance to do some devotion service you can do. But special mercy means, like you look at your son, he's clean shaved, he's surrendered his life. So you can also come and join full time. And the man said, no, for now, some mercy is enough now. We will take special mercy later. So people fear when Krishna takes away everything. Like Prabhupada said, Krishna, when I went to Allahabad, the business center that was on fire, and there were 2 or 3 other partners who were cheating also, looting money in the business. Prabhupada saw the business collapsing. And then Prabhupada writes, on one hand the business was collapsing, on the other hand my Krishna conscious preaching was taking effect. So I was thinking Krishna is pulling the rug under my feet. Why? Because Krishna thought, what is my pure devotee doing in a pharmaceutical shop, putting chemicals and mixing and everything. You should go to America and the prophecy time has come. You should preach and expand Krishna consciousness. So Krishna took away, so-called material successes and made Prabhupada spiritually successful. Because one Jyotish had told Prabhupada that he will either become the number 1 richest man in India or he will become a very great saint after the age of 70. He had predicted it. Actually, Prabhupada became both, we can say. Because he became a great saint also. Yeah, he went with 40 rupees and brought 40 crores to India. And he built temples. Even businessmen asked Prabhupada, what is the secret? You made so much money even after giving up everything. And then Prabhupada made beautiful temples like Juhu. And now TOEP is coming in several hundred crores. You can see that. So, devotee is never a loser. Devotee is always, one who connects with Krishna is always a gainer. Is never a loser. The fruit vendor lady is never a loser. Sudama is never a loser. You will always see everybody connects with Krishna, always stands to gain. So, this is one form of mercy. And when will Krishna give this type of mercy, withdrawing something from a devotee? When Krishna sees that it is not good for the devotee. Tadvai dhanushta ishavaha sarato hayasti soham rati nripatayo yata anamanti sarvam kshanena tadvod asadi shariktam basman hutam kuhakaraptam ivoptamushyam. There is one verse in the Bhagavatam which says, Krishna gave special empowerment to Arjuna to fight the battle of Kurukshetra. After that Kurukshetra battle, Krishna took away that empowerment because he didn't want the Pandavas to hurt themselves. So he will only take away something which may harm us or which may make us proud or we may harm others. Then Krishna will withdraw that. And devotee doesn't mind Krishna withdrawing anything. Because devotee knows whatever Krishna has plans for me. Like you see, Parikshit was saved in the mother's womb. When Parikshit heard the 7-day curse, did he pray to Krishna that please save me? Because he understood that Lord has another plan for me. He wants me to hear Bhagavatam 7 days and go back home, back to Godhead. And he aligned with Lord's plan. That's the meaning of a devotee. That means whatever way Krishna gives mercy, be willing to accept. It may be an embrace or it may be a pinch. It may be a pat or it may be a beat. Lord may give you a slap to lie down or may give a slap. Whatever it is, we have to accept it, accept His mercy. But one thing is true. If you become a devotee, Krishna takes personal interest in you. Absolutely, there is no doubt about it. Some boys ask, is it he takes personal interest when I become like Madhavendra Puri or somebody like that? He will come and give me a pot of milk. No, he takes personal interest as soon as you bow down to your head to him and you make an effort to become a devotee. You start chanting the holy name. You bow down to him. You connect with devotees. You want to advance in spiritual life. His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj, crystal clear, he made this point in Nectar of Devotion lecture, that as soon as you get initiated, all your sinful reactions are removed from you and Krishna keeps it with him. For pure devotees, he burns it away. Karmani nirdahati. But for those who are neophyte devotees, not yet pure devotees, he takes away the karmic reactions and keeps it. And as and when the devotee becomes mischievous, he releases it that much, proportionately. If you become this much mischievous, he will give you this much suffering. If you give this much, then this much. And he uses your own karma to purify you. See, that's the difference between suffering your karma without being a devotee and suffering your karma as a devotee. What is the difference? As a devotee, when you suffer, you cry out Krishna's names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. So you go to Krishna's temple, see his deity, bow down to him, pray to him, Krishna, Krishna, I am suffering now, please. Just like Vijayabhas ran to Krishna. But without being devotee, if suffering comes in your life, you will go to a Jyotish, or you will go to some Jadu Tona, somebody, that those people are troubling me, you also, trouble them back. Or you will take some illegal ways to trouble the other people, correct, no? But when you become a devotee, you run to Krishna's lotus feet. So even though our sufferings are in Krishna's hands, he is releasing it little if need be. That is for our good, and we will also take the right direction. So today I focused on the topic of understanding Krishna's compassion towards the jivas. So this is a very vital topic. Meditating on this type of topic, one homework I'll give all of you, which is 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Purushottam Yoga. You read cover to cover 15th chapter, shloka and the translation and purport. It's very important. And you will understand the compassionate nature of Krishna towards jivas even more in that chapter, Purushottam Yoga. So, when our heart is filled with gratitude for him, thankfulness to him, then we will be able to approach Janmashtami we can prepare our consciousness for Janmashtami. How wonderful Krishna is, then you want to know more about him. You want to connect with him more strongly. You want to make your offering to him more purer. You want the relationship more tighter. So those things will happen. That's why I took this topic today. And as we proceed towards Janmashtami, we should build up a consciousness to receive Krishna in our hearts. On the day of Janmashtami day, Krishna appeared in the jail of Kamsa for Devaki and Vasudeva. He can appear in our hearts also. Krishna Bhagavan ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki. Thank you.